actually, no, well, this is really actually marking a sea change in television news because, of course, News at 10 broke the mould back in 1967. I mean, we've actually worked with Andrew Gardner at Thames Television, who told some wonderful stories about the early days of ITN, where they were in a tiny studio in Wells Street, got so hot in the studio that he and Reggie Bosanquet had to remove shoes and socks and had their feet in buckets of ice. So that first week in News at 10 was done...
We're now in a cold studio.
Yeah, indeed, yeah.
We're all done up.
Reggie Bosanquet once told me that things were so good in the early days at ITN, they used to take a taxi 2 streets to collect their expenses and then put the taxi charge on the expenses.
Well, things have changed.
Yes,
things have changed.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we have to say there will be a Sky News at 10, and we have to use the term advisedly.
Yes. With the extremely serious, never amused Bob Friend, who I understand from the Daily Express spends most of his time in hysterics under the desk.
Well, you may say that. We can't possibly comment, of course.
I can vouch for a couple
But it has been exclusively revealed he spends his Sundays at Eastbourne, which is a wonderful place, with his newspapers and his deck chair and his flask of coffee on the beach.
But I was disappointed. No handkerchief on his head, with the little knotted head.
I think he took it off for the photo.
This all starts
Uncle Bob written on the back of the picture.
I think, I mean, speaking as journalists, I think that many people are sad with the passing of News at 10 because it did actually change the face of television news in Britain.
It paved the way, didn't it, for Sky, for that very journalistic approach rather than that pompous, distanced approach that news
You can't be talking about the BBC, surely, Simon.
Never. Straightforward news reportage told by people who know what they're talking about rather than by announcers, bless them, however good they are, who distance themselves.
Who are actually actors, many of them. When we think of Richard Baker, Kenneth Kendall, they're actually on equity contracts. Robert Dougal, yes, indeed.
And didn't like journalists. I always remember going for the first time into the Television Centre newsroom years ago, and there was the newsreader there and the rest of the staff there, and this was huge distance. Kenneth Kendall used to take a little dog in with him into Television Centre, Borzoi, I think.
What was the middleman?
His agent.
Probably his agent.
Oh, well, anyway, the golden days. Indeed, the golden days. But we remember them with some fondness. Simon, thank you very much indeed for joining us. We're just about to go and change the ice in our buckets at our feet. Join us at the top of the hour.